Hello, welcome to the podcast for couples who work together. I'm not sure what I'm doing with my hand.
And
This, you may sit.
well, thank you.
Thank you. Today's episode is the holidays. I'm Kat Rockwell,
And I'm Quentin Rockwell. We're married.
and we work together.
Well, kind of.
This is Working Together-ish.
Well, welcome to Working Together-ish. I am Quentin Rockwell, and with me, as always, is the lovely and talented Kat Rockwell. Well, what's your favorite holiday?
Oh, hands down, Thanksgiving.
Really?
Hands down. I absolutely love Thanksgiving. I think it has more to do with the change in the weather and just the hanging out with family and the food and the cooking, and that's it. Yeah, Thanksgiving. I love it. What's your favorite holiday? I know, but what's your favorite holiday?
Well, then what is it then?
It's Halloween.
Exactly.
You absolutely love Halloween.
Love Halloween. I love scary movies. I love the dressing up in the costumes and the scary stuff. I love it. I'm gonna
Say,
take my watch off. I keep
say,
knocking it around.
can you say the name of that holiday again?
Halloween.
Yeah, that's weird. I say Halloween.
Oh, okay. Why do you say? Oh,
I don't
okay. I
know
guess it
because
doesn't
I'm from
matter.
Southeast Texas and it's
Southeast
an
Texas. That's
A,
right.
so you say Halloween.
That's right, mother.
How and you say Halloween.
That's right.
That'd be an interesting poll to see who says what. Like, what do you say? Do people out there in the real world, do they say Halloween or Halloween? Halloween. Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Well, I don't know, mother. This is just. She
Oh my
hates it when I call her mother. I don't know why, but you're a mother. Anyway, okay. So yes, Halloween or Halloween, whatever you want to call it, that's my favorite,
Mhm.
and I love it. And I'm trying to introduce my kids into horror movies and stuff, but I think the youngest one, who's too young to get into it, I think she's
Yeah.
I think she'll kind of gravitate towards it anyway. I kind of see that in her.
Mhm.
The oldest, she's like 12, and she does not want to see some of these movies that aren't really that scary, but
Mhm.
she just I don't know, she has this idea, and I'm starting to get her into some stuff, but she has this idea that, oh, it's just too scary, I can't deal with it, it's going to give me nightmares. I'm like, well, you haven't even watched it
Right.
to even know if it gives you nightmares.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, all right, sorry.
But this, I will note, this is also the parenting equivalent of like when they're infants and one parent is throwing them up in the air really high and the other parent's just like, "Hey, how about we not do that?" Like
This-
getting them to watch horror
and
movies is the same
ironically,
thing.
the first child, I would throw her up in the air, and she was just
Like
kind
whatever.
yeah, like, cool, it's good. But then the youngest one, I would try to throw her up in the air, and she like grabbed my head, and she was like, no.
She would refuse to go up. Yeah.
Yeah, she does not do.
Yeah. But
Just,
but
no.
but now watching horror movies, you're just like, nah, it's good. And I'm the parent who's just like, can we not? Just can we
No,
not?
it's a PG-13 movie, and she's 12, and that's just too much. I'm like, it's a PG-13 horror movie. It's not that scary. It's not that scary.
Moving on.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess we were wanting to talk more about like the holidays, like the Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
Christmas holiday, winter holiday type season.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I guess.
Yeah. So, well, and the reason we even brought this up, aside from the fact that we're headed into the holidays, is because, first of all, if you are working together in the same line of business, it's extremely difficult to turn it off sometimes when
Well,
you own your own business. Sometimes it's hard to turn it off for an entire week or day or whatever, if you need to do the family, to do everything you need to do. At the same time, the issues that arise are dealing with extended family, especially, I guess, if you're newly married or you're in a new relationship,
yeah,
adjusting to doing things differently than what you're used to
yeah.
sometimes is harder.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to backtrack a little bit, because like you said, just if you're in the same line of business, I don't think it necessarily matters if you're,
Hmm.
because like me, I was working on my own independently, God, since 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
And it always bothered me, the holidays. I hated the holidays just because it's like people would be gone and
Mhm.
I couldn't get stuff done. Whatever it was I needed to get done, I had to stop. And it was just like, it was before we had kids,
Right.
so we didn't have anything that we needed to for kids' sake and family and all that stuff. It was just I can't do what it is I've got to do.
Right.
And it would drive me nuts. But you were working for another company
Mhm.
and they were working your butt off up
Right.
until like Christmas Day, and they would have worked you on Christmas Day if they
If
could.
they could have. Yeah.
Had they wanted to open, they would have done it.
Yeah.
And so for you, I can kind of see that from you. You were like, please, peace out.
So, just a side note, a little public service announcement: be kind to your restaurant employees and wait
Oh
staff and
yeah.
delivery drivers and to go servers and everyone who is working really hard these days, and especially more so around the holidays.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because also keep in mind, since so many restaurants are still on 2020 are still under like some restrictions,
right.
they're not able to have the amount of business, or a lot of them are. I mean,
Hmm.
there's still quite a few that have gone on and been able to function, but there's a lot of them that their businesses has kind of closed up. And then don't be a jerk. I
There you
mean,
go. I
seriously,
mean,
just don't be a jerk. Be nice to people. Be kind to people. Because I've done that job, that service industry job before, and it's like you have people that are really cool, really
yeah.
nice, really thankful.
Yeah.
Then you have some people that are jerks.
Well,
So
we've talked about this too before, how that should be like
mandatory.
a mandatory in order to become adult. You just have to have
And before you can vote, you
before
got to
you
spend 2 years in the service industry.
well,
I
maybe
would be
not
down.
do 2 years, but
Uh,
sometime in the service industry dealing with the public.
you got to do at least a year. You got to get like I'd say 2 years because you got 2 years of holiday season. Because then you got
Actually, that's quite true.
It's two
Yes.
years of dealing with all sorts of people, and then you're working on Sundays, so you got to deal with some of the church crowd, and because some of the church crowd isn't too nice, and they should be.
Oh, I think that's just humans in
Well, yeah,
general.
that's yeah,
It's
yeah,
just humans in general.
it is.
So,
But
okay.
anyway,
Well, if you are new to the show, the first segment we get to is called Three Questions, where Quentin and I have written down three super secret questions that the other person has no idea about until the time of the podcast when we reveal the super secret questions.
I um I didn't get three questions. I'm sorry.
You didn't get three questions? You didn't write down three questions?
All I could do was one question.
You had one job, and that's to
I know,
do
and
three
I couldn't do
questions.
my job. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'll go first. I'd like to go first because I have the
Sure.
one
I think
question.
that I'm going to ask myself two questions then.
Go ahead, please.
No,
And then
go for it.
you can go ahead and ask yourself two questions and
No,
pretend it's for
that
me.
totally ruins the fight. That's like, hey, what? Here's go buy your own Christmas gift.
I'm cool
Just
with
go
that.
buy it yourself. Have fun.
Here's some money. Have some fun. I'm like, Psh,
I
all
bet
right.
actually I would probably like that.
I would be down. Give me cash.
No, give me your one. Give me your
My
one
one
question.
Okay, and it's not hard, and it's anyway.
That's what she's. Sorry.
What's been the greatest transition about holidays that you have had with holidays with me? What's been the greatest transition
Transition. Can you explain what you mean?
versus holidays by yourself or your family, and then
Oh.
transition as in holidays with me and my family?
Oh, that's sort of tough. I would just say the introduction of our own kids. Like, I know that's not directly related to you, but I think just getting to have our own kids and getting to do our own things with our kids.
Well, okay, even pre-kids, no kids, take kids out. What was the biggest transition that you had before kids?
Okay, good transition or bad transition?
Transition, good or
Oh.
bad, good and bad.
Oh. I think it was just really getting used to other people's cooking. Like
Hmm.
when you inherit another family, when
Mhm.
you get married, you're not just getting used to doing a holiday with other people and not, not your own family that you've grown up used to. You're also getting used to their cooking And I think that's a sort of a hard transition.
That was hard for you?
For me, yeah. Because like dressing specifically, like that is something, and it's not just your family specifically. It would be, if I were to go to a potluck
Well,
or
we're not
something.
talking about a potluck. We're talking
I
mine
understand.
specific.
I'm just saying that it's not just your
I don't
family.
remember my mom doing dressing
Yeah,
besides
no,
the stuff you mix up from the store and the packet.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
I can't do that. Like our family has a long history of one recipe of dressing, and so getting used to like I don't
I
like
don't.
to eat other like the box dressing. Like I just can't. I just can't. It's hard.
I
Deviled eggs is another thing that I can.
She would do deviled eggs.
Yeah, but I can't eat it. I can't eat somebody else's recipe of deviled eggs. It has to be the single recipe. That's the only kind I like. Like no other type of deviled
You
eggs
are
exists.
picky.
It's not picky. It's just it's
It can't
what
be other than this one. I'm not picky, but it just can't be made in this other way. It has to be the way
I mean, I'm just if that was all I had to eat, I would eat it. But typically at like a Thanksgiving meal, you have options. And so I would choose not to eat that if it was not a specific recipe.
And see, and this is the funny thing. I'm not picky. I don't care. There's so much stuff. Okay, well, all right. I'm picky, so I won't eat your. Well, I guess does your mom make that recipe now? Because it came from your dad's mom.
Yeah. With the dressing?
Yeah, the dressing.
Yeah.
Does your mom make it as well?
Yeah, my mom makes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
Mhm.
notice a difference. It's a little lumpier.
Yeah.
I mean, it honestly it is. It's lumpier than the stovetop.
I think your pickiness comes into like the types of food you won't eat.
Okay.
Like if it's dressing, whatever, you'll eat dressing. But like you're not gonna eat green bean casserole.
I will.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I would. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not my preferred thing, but I would eat it.
Sweet potatoes?
I don't like sweet potatoes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Uh,
Yams, sweet potatoes, whatever you want to call them. I'm
in order for it to be a yam, it has to come from a certain region of the Caribbean. I believe most of them come from Jamaica.
same thing. I
Otherwise,
don't
it's
care.
just a sweet potato.
Okay, then still I don't
Okay.
like it.
Um,
I mean,
the carrot salad with raisins in it.
yeah, I don't.
I never understood that.
I mean, I would if I had to, but I'm probably not going to put that on my plate.
Hmm.
I mean, when I say probably not, I'm pretty much not going to put that on my plate.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's like I would eat it if survival depended.
Sure.
I'd eat most things that survival would depend on, but if I have a choice, I'm not.
I want to know who is a fan of carrot and raisin salad.
That would I don't
Like what
I
kind
know
of
I know people that aren't like necessarily fans,
uh-huh.
but they'll eat it. And they'll eat it before I would eat it, but
Right.
they would do it a
'Cause
little bit.
I know there's things I eat that other people would frown upon, but at the same time, like, Why? How did this thing come
I don't
about?
know.
And who still eats it? Like, who brings that to Thanksgiving? And it's like, here, I
I've never
brought,
seen anybody.
they're texting in a group message, like, hey, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?
I honestly I don't remember seeing anybody bring that. It was just something that maybe the person that was hosting that party that just had a package of it from the store and they dumped it into a bowl.
It just magically appeared.
Yeah,
It, you,
but nobody brought it. I mean, maybe the like I said, maybe the host just had a package
uh-huh,
of it from the store and just dumped it into a
uh-huh.
bowl. And I'm gonna provide this for people that
I do think it's an older recipe. Like, I
probably.
don't believe younger generations make this anymore.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, could be wrong, but
Right.
I don't remember ever seeing in all the different holiday parties I've been to, even like college friends, like when I was in college, I'd go to their families' parties and stuff.
Hmm.
I don't remember ever seeing
Hmm.
somebody bring a bowl of that.
Okay, well, if you were that person, we'd love to hear from you. If you make the carrot and raisin
Yeah.
salad, also if it's called something else,
I don't know.
let us know. But if you're that person, we're fascinated. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, that and how, because I've seen a lot of that. I mean, some people put a little bit on their plate. I've never seen anybody just like have an actual portion. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Scraping it onto the plate, like, oh man, I love this
I
stuff.
love this
Can't
stuff.
believe nobody's touching
Yeah,
this. This
but
is
when
amazing.
when I mean an actual portion, I mean like in the compartmentalized paper plates or styrofoam plates. They have the section of you will have this
A
much
full
of.
section.
Yes, I've never seen anybody. I've seen them do like maybe
Hmm.
a half to a quarter section,
Uh-huh.
but never.
Those fights always bothered me because it never failed that you don't have enough sections for
Oh,
everything
especially
that's
for
out.
Thanksgiving, you have all the
Yeah.
different types of foods, because
Yeah.
then you'll typically have two or three different types of dressings of people bringing
Oh,
dressing or
right.
something, but it's made a different way,
Right.
and
Right.
so yeah, there's no.
Yeah, so you always ended up like at least sharing a section, and then you had to figure out, okay, what foods are going to share a section, so it's okay that they
Great
touch.
question. What type? And
Hold on. Is this question number 2?
yes, it is. We'll call this question number two. Um, are you a dressing person? Like not dressing. I'm sorry, gravy person on turkey.
No, I am a cranberry sauce on turkey.
Really?
I don't eat a ton of turkey, first of all, but no, I don't
I
want
could. I
gravy.
could eat a ton of turkey.
Really, I don't. I actually like dark meat turkey. I don't
Really?
like the light meat, not just not on Thanksgiving. But if it is a light meat, I absolutely have to put the cranberry sauce on top of the turkey. Yeah, no
Really?
gravy. I'm not a big fan of gravy. I think it's because maybe I'm a Southerner and I like white gravy, and you can't put white gravy on turkey.
Well, you could,
I mean, you could.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
but no, cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is my gravy.
I don't think I've ever done cranberry sauce. Really,
Have you? Oh, you this year you need to try it on your turkey.
the cran log canned.
Well, either one. I mean, I think the can jelly shaped can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I think that's a tradition just to have that around. I do prefer the taste of real homemade cranberry sauce.
You know what? I've never tried it. I've never done it. And it's not been an intentional.
Sure.
I've just never, meh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the raisin carrot salad, whatever they
Well,
call it.
that just looks awful. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
yeah.
I can do without it.
Are you a gravy person? Like brown gravy giblets? Giblet gravy?
I'm not a giblet person, but I may put a little bit on it.
Mhm.
Like if it looks a little dry or could possibly be like the meat is a little dry, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll put a little bit, but I mean not a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the same thing with barbecue sauce. Most sauces, I may put a little bit,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to do a lot.
Right. It's
So
fair enough.
so
Fair enough.
that was my three questions,
That was only 2, but it's okay.
but we had a good discussion.
You could
So
just throw out one more random question on the fly. Boom.
on the
Anything.
fly,
Anything.
waterfold. Hey man, you open it up.
So let me go ahead and.
I fold. I'm just saying.
Okay, stop. Oh my gosh. Stop.
Well,
With
you asked.
no, you literally asked.
I know.
You
I
asked.
literally asked a question, but you told me, well, just throw some out on the fly. I'm like,
Okay.
okay, I'll throw some out on the fly. First thing popped in my head, bam, toilet,
You're right. You're right.
toilet.
You're right.
Just keep in mind, I did radio for years, and a lot of my bits revolved around toilet.
This is
Not
true.
not necessarily toilet humor, but like toilet trivia stuff. So hey,
Yeah.
toilet on the brain, man.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We could use some of your sponsors, by the way. Maybe we can start introducing them in future podcasts.
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. So
We
here is
probably figure out a few of them.
my first question is, what was your favorite holiday tradition as a child that you don't get to do anymore?
As a child,
Yeah. That you don't do anymore.
holidays, not
Sounds so
not the
bad.
high holiday of Halloween, but Thanksgiving or
Any kind of holiday you want. Any holiday tradition.
honestly, and this is kind of sad. When I was growing up until about sixth grade,
Mhm.
we would have a thing like on Thanksgiving. I had family up in Fort Worth. We may go up there for
Mhm.
Fort Worth. We may not. If we didn't, we'd go over to my mom's brother's house, and it'd just be like a big get together and just kind of whatever. It was kind of cool. Either one, it was okay. There was nobody my age, so there was like either go talk about sports and politics, which I had no interest in or knowledge of,
Mhm.
or whatever. But and then or sit around the fire while the old men are smoking cigars and talking politics. And that old boy, man, can you believe that? And all that stuff, which was boring to me at that time. Or and then around Christmas Eve, we'd usually have like a big get together at our house.
Mhm.
Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, family, friends, you name it. It might be 30 people, 30 plus people show up to our house on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we would pack up and go up to Fort Worth. Go up
Mhm.
to Fort Worth because we're in Houston. And so we would drive to Fort Worth on Christmas Day and have Christmas up there.
Okay.
That was my favorite thing because it was just revolving around those parties. It was fun.
So, like, just being around a lot of family, extended family, like.
Yeah, or just family friends that we maybe haven't seen in a
Mhm.
while. Because I mean, we'd have, I mean, friends that my aunts and uncles grew up
Mhm.
with, and I hadn't seen them in years,
Mhm.
or they haven't. I mean, it was just kind of a general open. Come on, just let us know we're coming so we can make sure we have food for you.
Sure,
And
sure.
it wasn't a, it was always open.
Do you think that given this year, do you think that people will miss that? Do you think most people are going to say, "Screw it, we don't care, like, we're going to get together with our family"?
I honestly don't know.
Mhm.
Um,
'Cause if my family's okay with this, like, obviously, we're not forcing anybody to be somewhere where they don't want to be,
yeah,
but at some point I this is totally not a political anything, but it's just at some point we just have to say, I gotta be around people for my own mental health. I just need to be around the people I love.
yeah. I honestly don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard. I mean, I think it will be a mixture.
Mhm.
I think there will still be some people that are like, screw this, I'm going about my life.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some people that, I mean, whether they are need to
Mhm.
restrict interaction with people, maybe they need to because they have some sort of health issue.
Right.
Whereas in other normal years, it wouldn't necessarily be as much of a caution, I guess,
Sure.
or there wouldn't be much of a caution.
Sure.
I don't know because I mean I know of some people that they may have some minor interaction with some close family, but that's it.
Mhm.
But I mean, but they literally have a condition that they
Yeah.
need to restrict that.
Yeah.
But I know some people that are just like, screw this, man.
Yeah. I remember few years ago when our youngest daughter was what, around like J- I can't remember if she was just a few months old. She was little. Like she was at the age where it says, on the acetaminophen, it says ask a doctor
Mm,
or something like that. Like she was that young and she was sick right before Thanksgiving. We had plans to drive up to my mom's in North Texas.
mm.
And I remember we were wearing like masks. We like tied bandanas around our face or something like in the
I remember
car
that, and she
to
was still sick when we got
yeah,
up there, and
to
then I
make
got
sure
sick while we were there.
right. So just to make like try to prevent us from being sick in such close quarters. But you already made these plans. So anyway,
Yeah,
I
because
just remember that.
both you and Evie were both sick,
Sure.
and then and I wasn't, and I was sterilizing the crap out of everything,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, then I get sick when
Right.
y'all are getting better, and I get. Oh, it was horrible. That
Okay.
sucked.
Question number
That
two.
sucked. Okay.
Question number two. If you could eliminate one holiday, what would it be? Like it did not exist ever.
That's a tough one because, and I'll tell you this,
Hmm.
because most holidays other than Halloween, I didn't give a crap about
Hmm.
until we had kids.
Okay.
So most holidays I'm like, meh. Um, I mean, I have a thing like every Valentine's Day, I get y'all a flower, and I've kept all that stuff. I get
Right.
y'all. I'd almost say maybe. I mean, I enjoy getting y'all. I mean, I really do enjoy getting all the flower and stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe that one.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, maybe that one.
Because you can just buy flowers at any other random day of
Yeah,
the
you
year
can, and just
too,
make it like a yearly thing that's what you do.
like
You
on their
could.
birthdays or on Father's Day or
I'll buy them flowers on Father. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'll go do stuff for them. Yeah, when they're
Uh,
supposed to be doing stuff
it's
for
just
me.
it's just a thought.
Yeah, what do we do for? Yeah, no, y'all have been really good about doing stuff for Father's Day,
Okay.
and I really appreciate it. So
I would agree with you on Valentine's Day, though. I mean, I don't think if it were just not a thing, I think our society would be completely
yeah,
fine.
they'd be fine.
I mean, quite frankly, that's probably it with every single holiday. Like, if we didn't have the actual holiday, it wouldn't change our lives
Yeah,
in any way if it didn't exist.
yeah,
We would still find other ways to celebrate the same things
yeah,
at some point in the year, even if it wasn't in a large orchestrated fashion.
yeah, yeah. And I think people, a lot of, I mean, we've had this discussion
Hmm.
before about Valentine's and how it's just kind of, it's not. I don't know. It's just become a commercialized thing where it's not really a.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah,
Valentine's is the worst. No, we can all agree Valentine's is the
yeah.
worst.
Yeah, good luck trying to find a restaurant that can seat you. Um, yeah, and all this fabricated store bought romance and yeah. Anyway,
That I want to open up a store now that just sells fabricated store bought romance.
fabricated store bought
And at
romance
least we'll call it like it is
incorporated.
incorporated. Okay. Question number 3. If you could have 3 famous people over for Thanksgiving, dead or alive, well, I mean, past or present, I should say, not like they're dead and they're in your living room. Okay.
That would be weird.
If you could have 3 zombies, no, if you could have 3 famous people over for Thanksgiving, who would you choose?
That's a good one. That really is a good
I told
question.
him earlier, I was like, look, I'm going to throw a question at you and you're going to need to think about it a long time.
Well, okay. Well, first off, I mean, this one. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. It was like I would like to have. I mean, I know Jesus is in my heart and all, but I'd
Uh
like to
huh.
have him there because I'd like to kind of just ask questions.
Okay.
So he would definitely be one of them.
Jesus.
Jesus would definitely be
Making
one
our
of
guest
them.
list right now.
Making my guest list. I
Yeah.
mean, I can come up with a whole bunch.
Okay. No, you only get 3. That's all we have room for. You don't
Um,
want to put Jesus at the kid table.
no, yeah, we don't. We want to make sure he's seated somewhere nice. Or
He'd probably enjoy the kid table. I
he
mean,
probably
be
would.
fine,
He'd probably be totally cool with that. Probably enjoy that and
more
better.
than the
Yeah.
adults. I'm sure he would.
But no, Jesus would be one.
Okay.
Um, another one, honestly, um, would actually be Donald Trump. And this is not really, um, it's not a political thing. It's just I have questions. And like I have questions about the reality about a lot of some of this stuff, and then just kind of some
Yeah.
of the stuff that they're not talking about. Those are the questions, and that, honestly, and if it was another president or current president,
Hmm.
it would probably be one of them as well.
Right.
Just because I've just it's like level with me, bro.
Yeah. Like, tell me what's really going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, come
Yeah.
on, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, I know I can't tell other people. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Probably, well, kind of, maybe cool with that. I don't know, but I would want to have, and then just because Donald Trump is the current one, I would like to have that, and then all the, what all the stuff that's going around about him. I'd like to just kind of sit down with him one on one without like a whole
Sure.
press nastiness because we
Okay.
don't have room for them.
Nope.
So we got Jesus, Donald, um, a third one. It's no fair. You get that. You ask me this question. I'm just like,
You chose to come up with one question, then had another one as we spoke. And so you have equal opportunity of question
well,
development on
whatever.
this
Your mom has
podcast.
equal opportunity for
You know
questions.
what? I bet my mom would love to submit questions for this podcast. She'd love to write your questions for next podcast.
I'll let her do it. I'm totally cool with that. A third person.
Hmm.
I'll just throw this out here just because I was just thinking about it. Since we're talking about presidents, Washington.
George Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of because there was a lot of turmoil under
Hmm.
him, or actually any of the first 4 to 5 presidents, any of them. but it just kind of because there was a lot of turmoil and a lot of different
Sure.
things that they were undergoing, and then stuff that they had to establish, and there was
Mhm.
there was a bunch of, I mean, yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff, and it's like, and we're kind of undergoing some turmoil and stuff that we're still going through,
Right.
and I would just like to see kind of maybe what was in their head at that particular point in time, not what was written in a letter or something, but like what's kind of the nitty gritty. The same thing, like the same conversation I'd have with Donald. So
Mhm.
Jesus, me, Donald, and George, we're gonna sit there. We're gonna have a little powwow. That'd be awesome,
Mhm.
and I would like that. I think that'd be cool. That's the only things that's the
Wow.
first people I could think of right now.
You're like, I'm not gonna lie, if I were to answer this, mine would not be
Okay, what are your
nearly.
three right now?
Oh
Now,
gosh. Okay. Martin Freeman. M- m-
the
m-
actor.
the actor, Martin Freeman.
Oh yeah, he's
Martin Freeman, Morgan Freeman, just for fun. And
'cause you need somebody to narrate this dinner.
yeah, and I would say Amelia Earhart.
How'd you really die? That
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah, that would be really cool.
That would
And
be
I
interesting.
think that both Martin Freeman and Morgan Freeman would also be interested in having Amelia Earhart
Oh God, yeah,
at
they
dinner
would.
as well. Like I feel like
Yeah,
that
they
would be a really good crew.
they absolutely
Yeah.
would. They'd be like, don't ask her
Right.
questions. Don't ask
Right.
me anything.
Right. Well, I would
Martin
open.
Freeman's a good one. I really wouldn't have thought of him. He would be really good. He's a very talented actor.
Mhm.
Plays a multitude of different types of roles.
Mhm.
He'd be really interesting. And I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
him when I see his name is on something. I'm like, I'll give this thing a shot.
Yeah. So there we go. I mean, out of granted, we have, out of the living people. I mean, I think that invitation is open to all of them to join us for Thanksgiving if they'd like. I
Absolutely.
can't believe, by the way, like I can't believe there's no like spoof on YouTube or anything of like, or any late night host who have tried to host Martin Freeman and Morgan Freeman. Like there's no kind of spoof like, oh, we booked the wrong guy. Like
Have you looked up that?
yes, I intentionally have looked this up and I can't find anything, but like, oh, Morgan Freeman's going to be on the show tonight and a white guy walks out
And it's Martin
and it's
Freeman.
Martin Freeman,
That'd be funny.
and like like some intern or something like mixed it up and they're just like, we don't even want to talk to you, dude. Like who are you? Who are you? Like I know
Mm,
he's super famous now,
yeah,
but I feel like a lot of people don't know his name. A lot of people don't know Martin Freeman's name.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
They would know his face because they've seen him in whatever movie.
Right.
Or and yeah, I totally
Right.
agree with that. I mean, he's really talented. I mean,
Like,
I dig him.
yeah.
I mean, like even when he starts getting the nervous twitches and stuff like that, and like some of the nervous ticks that he does in some of his, but then some other parts where he's not doesn't have the nervous ticks, and
Wow. You're a real student of
I've been
Martin
watching.
Freeman.
I mean, I started paying attention to
Uh-huh.
him when the first time I saw Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Mhm.
and that's when I started paying attention. Then I started noticing him in all these other roles and playing all these different other characters, and then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, as I knew anyway.
Thursdays. Could never get the hang of Thursdays.
Thursdays.
That's a line from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh,
Martin
okay.
Freeman said it. It's okay. Well, I first knew him as British Jim.
Oh, but see, I never watched
Tim.
that show. I never
Yeah.
watched that show. I mean, because I watched Hitchhiker's Guide
Mhm.
first, and then I saw, the British version of the Office. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
And
I'm sure it's the same for us as Southerners, or specifically for me, since I have a little bit more of an accent, that the I have to watch the British Office with subtitles on because I can't understand what Ricky
I
Gervais is saying a lot of
I
times.
just have to have the volume up louder than you want me to have the volume up,
Sure.
just because like sometimes they'll say stuff, kind of in passing. Well, they'll say something that's a really funny line, but
Hmm.
they intentionally, that they'll say it softer or lower,
Hmm.
and then sometimes, the since I'm not used to hearing a British accent, and then it would just have the accent on a lower line, and then I'm just like, I have to rewind and listen to
Hmm.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to discuss anything else since our topic is the holidays and we've clearly gone down a rabbit hole of
No,
the
I think we're
Freeman
good.
brothers?
The Freeman brothers. No, I mean it's no. I think we pretty much handled it all. I mean, talking about
Fantastic.
transitions and doing it together.
Okay, so let's take a look at what the internet has to say about the holidays, specifically doing holidays with
In laws.
in-laws and getting used to new things.
Okay, well, sorry. So I looked at. There's three different sites I have pulled up right here, and all of them have pretty much said the uniform thing is just to kind of have set your expectations, and that kind of thing. One of them I thought was interesting. It said go to bed early
The day
the day
before?
before, just so you're well rested, so you're not tired and all that
Oh,
stuff. There's another one here that says set your emotional boundaries, to which there's expecting minimums. Set yeah, basically set your emotional boundaries, and then while you're doing that, this other site, Mom Life, or
do you frequent that website often?
every day. No, I don't. Mom.com, it says to buddy up, have a buddy system. So it's basically that so your buddy knows when you're at the end of your emotional control or whatever, you're about to go off, or you just need like a timeout or a
Uh-huh.
tap out or something, that just to have this buddy system. So you have like a secret word, zebras,
A
you know
safe word.
yeah, some zebras.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, but just to have that, just so you know that the other person is they need a break, for
Mhm.
whatever reason. That, and just kind of they need a break. Set your time limits as well.
Mhm.
That's another thing. It's like don't don't stay
Yeah.
there, because if the other person's about to be at their at
Uh-huh.
the end, if the other person is at the end of their rope, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
then everything's about to be miserable.
I want to add that if there is somebody at your house and they say they need to leave to go get something, just go let them leave. Like, most likely, they just need to get out of the house
Hmm.
because there's so much going on, or someone or something has just pushed them to their limit and they just need a breather. Don't be like, oh, we'll go with you. Do you need help? Oh, no, we've got lots of that. You don't need to go get that. No, just let them leave. Like, just let them leave for
Yeah,
a little
step
bit.
out.
Ah, don't force them to come up with more excuses to insist that
Yeah.
they have to go get paprika from the store or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's mostly that's the general what all of them have just kind of
Yeah.
said. I mean, there's other little things like stuff there.
I like having the buddy system,
Yeah.
by the way. And I think you and I do that quite frequently in other social settings. And it's just helpful. It's helpful to have a code word of, especially if you need to help get somebody out of a conversation,
Hmm.
like have a plan. And so for ours is I'll come up to you and say, hey, your mom called and you need to give her a call back real quick. And if you want to get out of the conversation, you'll say, oh, sorry, excuse me, I need to go call her back real quick. And if you don't, you're like, no worries, I'll call her back whenever I
Of
can.
course, some people would be like, "Oh, how is your mother?" And you're
So maybe should I say, hey, Donald Trump called and you need to call him back
like, immediately,
immediately?
stat. And then if I'm like, I'll call him back in a little bit, then that means okay, I'm good,
Hmm.
I'm cool. And that'd be kind of funny. Donald Trump needs you to call him,
We could just be like, just DT. DT called.
or yeah, yeah.
And
Donnie
Donnie.
Donnie called. Um, but I mean, I'll just go back to this.
Okay.
It just expect the minimum. Don't expect a lot. Just warmth, and don't expect warmth and general happiness when you show up. Just expect the minimum. Let them help. Be a reporter. Blend
What
traditions.
does that mean? Be a reporter.
Um, Keep conversations light, and ask
Mm,
mostly just ask questions. Just to get them talking,
right.
and then about their work, childhood, holidays, or hobbies. Anyway, just kind
Like,
of stuff about them.
like when did you first start eating carrots with raisins? Was it
Hmm.
in the insane asylum or Were you like a prisoner of a foreign war, and that's when you started eating it?
Yeah.
Because this is torture.
Yeah. This is torture. But yeah, no, anyway. And just set limits,
Mhm.
lower your expectations is the big one, and just
Mhm.
kind of deflect negativity. This is one of them. So if you're in law, because my mom did that unfairly to you, I will tell you this. And yeah, and it would make me mad. That face like
What did she do?
oh,
Am I aware that she did this?
oh yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to go down the
Okay.
negative path, but but it's like if your in-law criticizes you, your partner, or a member of your family, just simply smile and reply with a neutral comment, such as "think so, think so." Um,
Wait, what?
I know, right? It's like, yeah, I do think so, and that's like that's not. I don't know. That may not be a good one, but
I would think a neutral comment is like, the sky is blue.
yeah,
I'm going to just say a random fact that has nothing to do with the conversation. And then I'm going to smile, say it, and then just walk away to leave them wondering, like, what was that supposed to mean? And when it means nothing, it's just a random statement.
yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most fence posts are made out of wood.
mm-hmm. That's funny. Most of it. Anyway, but yeah, there's all sorts of different
Okay.
ways. The biggest one I would say is
Mhm.
just low expectations.
Sure.
And chill out
Sure.
and know when you need to tap out and have a
Mm.
code with somebody so they know when to come in and
Yeah. I think too, have a game plan of specifically when you're going to leave.
mm-hmm.
And then leave. And oftentimes it's helpful if you have something like with your own little family that you want to do after,
Yeah.
like afterwards. So whether that's going shopping or going for ice cream, or we're in Texas, by the way, where we get ice cream year round.
Year round.
you
It's
don't-
probably warm.
because it's still 80 degrees at Thanksgiving.
It's cold 80.
Like, go do something afterwards that, like, create your own tradition if you want to.
Yeah.
To have something to look forward to.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Create your own tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that'll get you away.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you a good excuse to go away, and you're creating memories with your family and your kids for them to have a thing.
We have a Thanksgiving tradition after the meal, after the family leaves. We have a Thanksgiving tradition. That tradition is the girls and I put up a Christmas tree, discover that half the lights don't work, send Quentin to CVS to get more lights, and then watch Elf as a family, and all the while look at Quentin while he rolls his eyes because he's the Grinch.
I am the Grinch.
Yeah.
It's all good though.
Yeah.
I'm
But
okay.
watching Elf is our post the evening of Thanksgiving. We watch Elf.
That's funny though. I mean, it's a funny
is.
movie.
Yeah.
So
And it's
yeah.
officially Christmas. As soon as you eat, it's Christmas.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Hey, don't forget to click subscribe because we love our subscribers. We want to make sure that you're notified whenever we have new episodes, which are posted every Thursday. And we want to hear from you. What are some of your Thanksgiving traditions that you love? What are the foods you love? And by the way, hey, if you wanted to invite 3 people to Thanksgiving,
Who would you invite?
Who would you invite? Oh, also don't forget if you are that person who makes the carrot and raisin salad.
We want to hear from you.
Yes. We
Why?
would love to know what it's like to be you.
Yeah. And why? Just why?
So many questions.
So many questions. Why?
So
I
many
just have one.
questions.
Why?
Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on Working Together-ish. Thanks so much for listening. Working Together-ish is produced by Lauren Jackson at the Rockwell team. The theme song is Stab at Love by The Shiny Darks.